Hey guys, Ellie here. So we are actually standing right underneath the southernmost pier in the entire state of California, right here in Imperial Beach. So let's go explore.
Imperial Beach offers 3.5 miles of coastline that goes from its northernmost boundary to the US-Mexico border. As San Diego County continues to grow, cities inside the county are being affected as well. Imperial Beach is one of them. Right now, it is home to over 26,000 residents.
With the shortage of affordable housing at its peak in California, it's no surprise that cities like Imperial Beach are being affected as well. Alan Jin at the University of San Diego says that the shortage of affordable housing is the biggest problem for San Diego's economy, and accessory dwelling units are a perfect way to combat this issue for both renters and homeowners across the entire state.
Whoever decides to build an ADU can rent it out to generate passive income as well as increase the real estate's overall value for resale purposes. However, due to this recent inflation, building materials and construction costs have risen, and even with the benefits, not every homeowner can commit to a project of this size.
The state of California has recognized this housing shortage, and because of this, the government recently took action by launching the ADU grant program, offering up to $40,000 off the pre-construction costs of an accessory dwelling unit.
The ADU grant program has raised the grant amount to cover up to $40,000 off the ADU project cost for each homeowner. This is enough to construct 2,500 ADUs across the state. To qualify, homeowners in Chula Vista must meet a few requirements. Household income cannot exceed $211,000 each year. The grant applicant must be the owner of the property. The property owner must plan to live on the property, and the property owner must agree to rent out the newly built unit. Download the ADU Grant Qualification Guide to learn more about the requirements to qualify for this grant. The grant covers pre-construction costs of the ADU, otherwise known as soft costs. Some of these include inspection, estimation, site prep, land surveys, soil tests, impact fees, architectural drawings, project design, and more.
If you own property in Imperial Beach and decide to build an accessory dwelling unit, it will not be difficult to rent out the space. So let's take a look at the average rental income you can generate with an ADU right here in Imperial Beach.
The average rent of a studio apartment in Imperial Beach is $1,748. The average rent of a one-bedroom apartment is $1,862, and the average rent of a two-bedroom apartment is $2,411.
If you decide to build an accessory dwelling unit in Imperial Beach, it's important to know the basic information about the ADU regulations in your city to determine the feasibility of your project.
Allowed location. You can usually have an ADU on your property if residential uses are allowed, but there may be exceptions. You must have an existing or proposed single-family home on your property or an existing multifamily building. Minimum lot size. There are no minimum lot size restrictions. The property can be any size and be eligible for an ADU. Number of ADUs allowed. If you have a single-family home, you can usually build 1 or 2 ADUs on it. On multifamily properties, how many ADUs are allowed depends on what kind of ADU is built and how many units are already there. Minimum and maximum building sizes. Junior accessory dwelling units. The minimum is 150 square feet, and the maximum is 500 square feet. Detached accessory dwelling units. Up to 1,200 square feet. Attached accessory dwelling units. The minimum size of an ADU must be 150 square feet, and the maximum unit size could be 50% of the gross floor area of the primary dwelling, or at least 850 square feet for units with 1 or fewer bedrooms, and 1,000 square feet for units with 2 or more bedrooms. Setbacks. Front yard. Must be consistent with the requirements of the underlying zone. Side yard. For accessory dwelling units with a height of 16 feet or less, side setbacks shall be 4 feet or consistent with the requirements of the underlying zone. For accessory dwelling units with a height over 16 feet, side setbacks for the portion of the building that is higher than 16 feet shall be consistent with the setback requirements of the underlying zone. Rear yard. For accessory dwelling units with a height of 16 feet or less, rear setbacks must be 4 feet or consistent with the requirements of the underlying zone. For accessory dwelling units with a height over 16 feet, Rear setbacks for the portion of the building that is higher than 16 feet must be consistent with the setback requirements of the underlying zone. Parking. Attached and detached ADUs will require one parking space, unless your project qualifies for an exemption from the parking requirements.
So if you're interested in applying for the ADU grant program, applying is entirely free, and we can help you out. The first step is to book a free consultation with one of our ADU experts, and we'll discuss your project plans for a fast and easy approval.